Within Canada, there are 21 active and potentially active volcanoes. Of these, the most well-known is Mount Meager, which produced a catastrophic eruption approximately 2,500 years ago, which ejected 1.3 cubic kilometers of volcanic rock. For comparison, this was 30% larger than the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens. However, within the country there is a volcano which produced a far larger eruption. The eruption in question was about 150 times the size of the aforementioned eruption of Mount Meager and caused more than 400 square kilometers of ground to collapse, forming a massive caldera. The volcano which produced this eruption is also the tallest volcano within Canada and is known as the Silverthorne caldera. Today, we know that this volcano is still active as it produces occasional swarms of earthquakes. This video will discuss this volcano, its large eruption, and mention what its future hazards are. The Silverthorne caldera can be found in west-central British Columbia near Vancouver Island. Specifically, it is 325 kilometers northwest of the city of Vancouver. From satellite, we can see that much of this large volcanic complex is covered in thick glaciers, so its features are difficult to see. However, there is a massive caldera rim buried underneath much of this ice. On screen, I have outlined the caldera's edge. It measures an impressive 30 kilometers long and 20 kilometers wide. This caldera formed at what have may been the largest volcanic eruption within Canada of the last 1 million years. It originated approximately 650,000 years ago when a large eruption drained much of the underlying volcano's magma chamber. This caused the top of the volcano to collapse downwards by at least 200 meters, much like a sinkhole, to fill the empty space in the magma chamber. This massive collapse occurred over an area of 473 square kilometers. The associated eruption created a 50-kilometer high ash plume and produced pyroclastic flows which likely traveled more than 50 kilometers away. Thick beds of ash were deposited, totaling more than 100 meters in some locations. Thus, after this eruption ended, what remained was a crater in the ground, much like Crater Lake in Oregon, but much shallower and more broad. In the aftermath of this massive eruption, a volume of magma erupted onto the caldera floor. Since this magma was highly viscous, it began growing into a glowing gray lava dome of a rock type called dacite. Over time, similar eruptions built a complex of overlapping lava domes which were spread across the caldera floor. During these eruptions, intermittent lava dome collapses would occur. This triggered pyroclastic flows which raced downhill for several kilometers. This lava dome forming eruptive activity largely ceased around 100,000 years ago. Eventually, thick glaciers covered the caldera, which was now almost completely unrecognizable due to the numerous lava domes and volcanic cones which had grown in it. Within the last 100,000 years, at least 4 medium-sized eruptions occurred which create flat-topped volcanic features called toyas. Here is an example near the caldera wall. After the glaciers retreated, one additional eruption occurred. A new eruptive vent erupted bombs of lava and emitted a small lava flow which traveled a kilometer. This eruption occurred sometime around 6,600 years ago, but the margin of error on this date is high. If this volcano was to erupt again, even a small eruption would be catastrophic. The main threat a future eruption could pose are lahars associated with the rapid melting of glaciers on this volcano. This would send a wall of water up to 200 meters high downstream, affecting towns up to 100 kilometers away. On screen, I have labeled 3 towns at risk in the event of a future eruption. They should be evacuated when the next eruption occurs. Luckily, this volcano should not erupt for some time as it appears to be in the waning stages of its overall lifespan. Using the U.S. Geological Survey method of rating volcanoes, Silverthorne caldera will be classified as a high-threat volcano. I hope that you enjoyed this video.